Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Deathstroke, issue number 45. Year of the Villain, the Offer. Basically, all of these Year of the Villain comic books, all they are is the last page or two is devoted to Lex Luthor or his ghost, whatever, his hologram coming down and talking to everybody, just making them some kind of an offer. That's literally, that's all that these are. So if you're not buying these comic books, but you want to know the offers thing, I promise you, the offers are nice and easy. And if that's the only reason why you're interested in buying these books in the first place, I will tell you what the offer was at the end of all of these videos. All right? Just so if you want the spoiler, cool. If you don't, click off a couple seconds before the camera fades to red. All right? Anyway, this by itself, it was a pretty cool book. I'm glad that I'm reading it. I'm glad, it's very hard for me to follow because it's a Christopher Priest book, for one. And there's a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot of characters I'm not familiar with, man. Some characters I didn't even know they existed until I started popping on and off of this book. And just, wow, man, wow, there's a lot going on. Like, the world of Deathstroke is far larger than I could have possibly imagined. It is what it is, dude. It is what it is. Anyway, this issue is called Children of a Lesser God, Deathstroke, R.I.P., Book 1. Priest does the story. Fernando Pesarin does the pencils. Jason Paz and Wade Von Graubager does the inks. Jeremy Cox does the colors. Willie Schubert does the letters. Ed Benes and Richard Friend and this print is weird, man. Danae Ribeiro does the cover, and the variant cover is by David Finch. Basically, there's a new Deathstroke in town, and if you saw the previous issue, then you know exactly who it is. And she is trying to go after somebody who is the final contract for... All this stuff was already explained in the previous issue. Here, they're actually enacting what you read in the previous issue. The problem is that she's not as devoted as her father was, not even remotely. Shadow shows up in this. Yeah, that's Emiko's mom. That's Red Arrow, the person who actually killed Deathstroke. And the current Deathstroke is none too pleased with Emiko and therefore Shadow. But there's only but so much that they can do about it. So yeah, this Deathstroke... I'm trying not to give spoilers, because there's only like 2 spoilers in this comic book. Technically 3 if you count with the one I'm going to give you at the end of this. There's only really 3 spoilers in this book, and I'm not going to give them to you because I respect you guys enough. But yeah, there's some booty and there's a foot. You imagine what's going to happen, all right? Deathstroke gets played in this because she is not ready to take over her father's mantle the way that he did. She just can't. She can't bring herself to be a murderer. I like that. The way that she gets around this was actually really cool. I don't know if she typically uses this method of killing people, but I loved it. I loved it. I'm going to be incorporating this into my games from now on because hell's to the yes, this was freaking awesome. Let me tell you something. What happens... jeez. The way the book ends is fairly satisfying, all right? And I think that you're going to enjoy this. Let me get into the actual spoiler that I will give you in this book. What do you call it? The son, Deathstroke's son, he's there and he gets his butt handed to him in the end of this because, I don't know, he just wasn't as smart as he thinks he is. He's not as powerful as he thinks he is. And Luthor shows up and says, "I think that you're ready to take over for your father and join the Justice or the Injustice League, the Legion of Doom." In this particular case, that's it. That's all. That's the only way that this connects with the Year of the Villain, the offer. That's it. So, if the only reason why you bought this comic book was for that, save your money. Save your money, because that's all it is. Barely even worth it. You know what I'm saying? If that's the only reason why you got the comic book. Let me just take a really quick... Oh, there's an interview with Tom King at the end of this. How cute was that? Yep, so it's 2 pages. It's exactly 2 pages. And there's very little dialogue spoken. So, yeah, I'll actually give it to you. Yeah, he's hurt, and Luthor says, "Hey, man, guess what?" So that's it. Anyway, guys, nothing else to this comic book. It was a fun read. It was genuinely a fun read. There's only been so much I can tell you about it because it was just a lot of action. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.